What up, gang? It's Mang, and I got a new video for the newbies out there that are looking for an educational how to draft Magic video. This is going to be for you new players that have thought about going to your local game shop and drafting, maybe drafting on Arena, and maybe you have tried draft and it didn't go so well. This video is going to help you keep it simple, stupid. Make sure you are doing the right things when you're looking at these packs and just having a better experience. So without further ado, this is going to be part one. Just picking cards. What do I take? What do I prioritize? And I have an acronym for you. Just remember, BIRD. B-R-D. BIRD. That's it. That's all you need. BIRD stands for bombs, removal, draw. In that order. BRD. Don't forget this. We're going to go over this later. But bombs, removal, draw. In that order, and you'll have twice the success you've ever had in your next draft. What's a bomb? A bomb is a single card that will likely win the game or catch you up if you are behind, if it resolves into play. Examples of a bomb in Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Railway Brawler. This is a creature that's when it enters, it gives 1/1 counters to all future creatures that come into play equal to that creature's power. It's got reach, it's got trample. This thing hits the field, your opponent immediately cringes, he knows the game is in jeopardy. This is a card that you take early, you take often, you build your deck around a single color bomb if possible, but not all bombs are the same. Another kind of bomb would be Overwhelming Forces. Yes, it's expensive. It costs 6 colorless and 2 black sources to even cast this card, but let's take a look at it. This is not a creature, this is a sorcery. And when you cast it, you destroy all creatures that your opponent controls, and you draw a card for each creature destroyed this way. So if you imagine your opponent has 1 or 2 cards left in hand and all these creatures on the board, you're about to draw 4, 5 cards and eliminate all their resources, catching you up and in turn putting you in a position to win the game. You take a card like Overwhelming Forces very early, just like you would Railway Brawler. And going into a Planeswalker here, Oko, Thief of Crowns. This is a 2-color bomb, as we described, for 1 colorless and a green and a blue source. You're getting a Planeswalker that's totally going to shift the game into your favor. A Planeswalker sits on the side of the board, and it gives you added benefits on every single, succeeding turn. So, Oko, giving you food tokens that you can reanimate into a 3/3 elk, or even exchange to steal your opponent's better resources later in the game. This is a bomb. This is a card you want to build your deck around, and you're happy jumping into 2 colors. You might have heard from a friend or someone else that picking a 2-color card right off the bat isn't the best strategy. Oko is worth doing so. This is a card when it hits the field, you're in a great position to win. So those are bombs. That's what the B stands for. Let's take a look at R, removal. So removal is a spell you can use to ideally remove an opponent's bomb or threat that you're currently dealing with. So if you don't have bombs in your draft pack, the next best thing you can do is take removal. That way you can eliminate your opponent's bombs and you don't fall behind. Some examples of removal, the classic tried and true Murder. So Murder is an instant spell that can be cast at any time during the game, destroy target creature. That includes Railway Brawler, a bomb that we talked about earlier. This is a card you're going to want to prioritize. You really can't go wrong playing multiple sources of removal in your draft. Now, depending on the set, Outlaws of Thunder Junction is very bomb heavy. There's a lot of creatures that you have to deal with when they enter the field. So I would have maybe 4 or 5 removal spells at the minimum. And Murder's a great one. This is something that's going to get the job done, remove that threat, put you in a position to play the game out. Another example is an exile effect, so Mystical Tether. This common in white in Outlaws of Thunder Junction, you cast it and you get to take control of that creature. It goes off into exile as long as this remains on the field. Enchantments are hard to remove. There's only a handful of cards that would actually eliminate this enchantment, giving that creature back to your opponent. So this is a great card that I prioritize. If there's no bombs, There's no creatures I'm really excited about. Maybe I'm not even in white. Maybe I drafted a green card first. I'm going to prioritize the removal as my next selection. That's the next best thing you can do. Another example of removal is bouncing things to your opponent's hand. So say someone played a Railway Brawler. They played a creature that's now a 6/6 or a 10/10 power that's an immediate threat. You don't necessarily remove that threat from the game, but this town ain't big enough. You can bounce 2 non-land permanents to their owner's hand. That buys you tempo. That buys you time to catch up into the game. So you cast a spell like this to put the bombs back into your opponent's hand, clear the board, maybe make way for some damage to get through for lethal. This is something you shouldn't overlook. Yes, you're not killing. Yes, you're not exiling that creature, and you might have to deal with it later, but man, you just bought yourself so much time. They have to spend so much more mana to get those cards back into play. Removal is the name of the game. If you don't have bombs, you need removal. And the last one here, draw. So draw is a creature or spell that'll keep refilling resources to your hand, so you don't have to top deck. You're not praying to the card gods that this next card I select is something I need in this moment, because chances are it's probably going to be another land. You're probably going to be wincing in pain, probably shaking your opponent's hand and losing. So do not be in a position to top deck. You want to keep filling your hand with cards from your deck. That's how you win the game. That's how you get to your bombs. That's how you get to your removal. So if I don't have good bombs or removals in the pack that I'm looking at card draw. How am I going to thin out my deck? How am I going to look at more cards and just play my game? Some draw examples from OTJ. Vault Plunderer. This is a common creature in black. You'll probably see multiples of these in your draft. So yes, it's a creature when it enters. It's a 3 power, 1 toughness creature. But you also draw a card if you pay 1 life and target yourself with Vault Plunderer. So not only is Vault Plunderer being cast from my hand, it's replacing itself. I'm getting a card from the top of my deck, and I'm going to have more options, more flexibility to play Magic, as long as I have cards in my hand. Don't be in a position where you're stuck top decking. A very powerful card draw card in this set. It's a gold card. It's expensive. It costs 3 colorless, a green, and a blue, but make your own luck. This allows you to plot a card, which I don't need to go into the specifics there, but basically you're drawing 3 cards, you're putting an expensive one into plot, as well as 2 others into your hand. This is a great card to play on turn 5 or 6. Maybe you and your opponent are both down to 2 cards, the board is stalemated a little bit. This is a great time for you to cast Make Your Own Luck, refill your hand, and get ready for the next turn. Something that's overlooked too is using your graveyard as a form of card draw. So maybe you played a great creature on turn 2 or 3, it died, they used a removal spell on it, but you're in the colors black-green, where you can play something like Badlands Revival. This allows you to return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, and you actually get to put a permanent, which doesn't have to be a creature. It can be an enchantment, something else in the graveyard there that goes back to your hand. You essentially drew and casted 2 cards on the same turn when you play Badlands Revival. So there's different forms of card draw. It can come in the form of a creature, a sorcery spell, or maybe something like this where you animate something from your graveyard. You get something back into play and you take control of the game. So there you have it. This is going to be part 1 of a multiple part series here. I just wanted to keep it simple. Just remember Bird, B-R-D. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about deck building, your curve, the cuts you need to make, how many lands do I need to play. These are all questions I'll cover in the next video, but I wanted to keep it simple. Let me know if this helps you as a new drafter, and I'm happy to answer questions in the comments. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. Help out the channel a little bit. Make sure this gets seen by a lot of people, and we just want to get more players into the game. Drafting can be a little overwhelming. Maybe you're playing different formats like Standard or Commander. Like Draft, in my opinion, is the most fun way to play Magic, and I want to help people get a better understanding for it. That's all I got for you today. I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching. Peace.